Nebraska feels like a legitimate college football playoff contender. And the reason I say that is they can get to 7-0 before they play Ohio State. They lose that game, okay. But if they win 10 games, 10 of their first 12, right, or 10 of 12, it's going to be difficult to keep them out because the SEC is going to get 4 teams in, I think, 3 at a minimum, and I think the Big Ten can get 3 or 4. But what I find to be interesting about this, as Nebraska is getting an opportunity to play against Illinois on what has become a sneaky good Friday night matchup at home, 2 things on this. A, your man Dylan Raiola is good. He's not great. He's good, but he ain't got to be great. He's just got to be good, and good is good enough. He's not throwing the ball away. He's not turning the ball over, and he is running the offense, which has allowed for them to throw the ball effectively and run the ball effectively. Number 2, the defense is good. Tony White's 3-3 stack is working. They're not allowing people to score. They are bending but not breaking. They are getting home when they choose to come after people, and they've got defensive backs that can run and make plays. Look at what Tommy Hill did with that interception return for a touchdown against Colorado. Now, Northern Iowa was not Colorado, no matter what anybody wants to tell you, okay? UTEP, that's not indicative of the kind of teams they're going to place in the Big Ten. Illinois, it's a really good challenge. Illinois is a good football team. Are they a great football team? No, but I think if you're going to achieve the height of saying being in the conversation to be one of those 12 teams that's selected, you're going to have to get this win against Illinois on Friday. What I would like to say to some Nebraska fans, not all, some, is don't come to me defending a win. If I am picking at parts of you that feel flawed, right, like playing the second stringers and giving up points, like throwing a ball deep and it getting picked off for whatever reason, you ain't got to defend that. Nobody is coming for Nebraska. Everybody wants Nebraska to be good. Just like I want Arkansas to be good. I think that if you got a program that's not unlike mine, where you are in a state that does not have an NFL franchise, but you have been playing great college football for a very long time, I want you to win. I want you to be great. I am on your team. So I don't understand this new breed of Nebraska fan that feels like they're not being taken seriously enough or that we are hoping too much for them. You can't have it both ways. Either you want to be taken seriously, which means you want to be taken seriously as a team that's competing for championships, and Nebraska damn sure ought to be competing for championships, or you do not want us to talk well about you. Can't have it both ways. I choose to look at Nebraska and go, what's your ceiling? I don't believe your ceiling is 6-6. I don't believe your ceiling is 7-5. Not after what I've seen through 3 games. I do believe your ceiling is making the playoff. Do I think you're going to win the Big Ten championship? No. Do I think you're going to win the national championship? Not this year. Do I think that you are in a really, really cool place where it has become easy to talk about what Matt Rule has done and what he's capable of doing, where it has become easy to talk about a true freshman quarterback who's simply operating the offense and that being enough, where it is easy to give Nebraska fans who have gone out of their way to fill up that stadium for like 69 consecutive years reason to believe. Like, one of the things that I think is interesting about this sellout streak that Nebraska's on is they had to shell out some money to make it work. Remember a couple years ago, Scott Frost, toward the end, they're playing Fordham, and people were like, A, we suck. B, I'm not showing up to see us beat up on Fordham. What am I going to pay tickets for that? I'm not doing that. They had donors that went bought out the tickets so they could still keep the sellout streak because that's how important it was. It was, hey, this is an investment in the future. I know that it sucks that I'm asking you to buy up the rest of these tickets right now, but we're going to need this sellout streak to sell later on down the line. We promise it's going to get better. And they've been through another athletic director before they got back to this place. Trev Albert left, and he won't get the credit for putting this place on a good space before leaving to go to A&M because that's not how these things work. But Trev Albert put this thing into motion, and Troy Dannon, who's coming from Washington, where they just, national title runner-up, knows not to fix what ain't broken, and also knows that Nebraska's in a unique place, not unlike Tennessee, to start making some money and to start facilitating for their name, image, and likeness. You just got to win. And I think, given what we have seen, and given what Nebraska has shown themselves to be capable of, Nebraska is going to have a road to being nationally a national power the rest of the way because Nebraska's going to invest in their football program, and there is no salary cap. There is no level amount of money that you are not allowed to spend. And that is when I think this is going to get interesting. You have seen some programs that have been shying away from name, image, and likeness. Let me tell you something. The programs that have gone in are good. Missouri created a model that other people emulate. The reason that they emulate that model is because Missouri is the number 6 team in the country. Full stop. Because Missouri won 11 games last year. It beat Ohio State, depleted Ohio State, but Ohio State in the Cotton Bowl. Memphis, get $25 million in name, image, and likeness, goes down to Florida State and beats them 20-12. Look around. Look at the programs like Tennessee, like Oklahoma, like Ohio State, like Texas, who have made name, image, and likeness a big part of who they are now, and you will see them having a straight trajectory toward trying to win national championships. And you know what? If you don't want to be good at football, there's no shame in that. That's okay. Just say that. You can't have a football program and just have it, on the doorstep. It's going to cost you too much. That is a very expensive front porch to a university if it ain't getting nobody on the front porch. You got to have somebody go out there and do some winning. And if that's not what you want to do or you don't have the financial backing to do that, be that way. You know what I'm saying? Do that. But Nebraska's not one of them. Nebraska wants to win. Nebraska needs to win. So I think they can make the college football playoff. A couple other things that I want to get into that I think are fascinating and interesting.